everyone, and welcome to Signature Home Styles Trends at 2. We are here today with some wall decor decorating tips that we think you are going to love. So when you see something that you love, make sure that you give us a shout. Make sure you let us know what you love, because you could go into our drawing to win 20% off your next order. And make sure that you stay until the end to find out who our winners are from last week. All right, so we are going to jump right into it. Oh, and we have an exciting announcement to share with you as well at the end, so make sure you stay to find out what that is. All right, we're going to jump right into it with our first tip. And when it comes to wall decor, and when it comes to decorating in general, choose things that you love. Choose things that make you happy or relax. Just choose things that you love. And I'm going to turn it over to Dawn to show you one of her favorite looks.
Okay, so this grouping right here is one of my favorites. I can't say, and I can't take credit for it, because I copied it from someone else online, but it is beautiful. It is a great thing, great grouping to put over a table, and here we have it over a small bistro table or a sofa or any larger area that you want. And I love combining all of the blues and greens. And this is nice because it really is, and we're going to talk about symmetrical and asymmetrical groupings. This is really a symmetrical grouping, even though you're not using 4 prints, because the perimeter of it really does form a rectangle. And so everything is within that rectangle, and so this would be a symmetrical grouping. Beautiful, pulling the accessories up into the grouping. Here we have 3 prints and a wall shelf, and the wall shelf ties in some candlelight as well as some greenery and florals, but really just a beautiful grouping over a table.
All right, our second tip when it comes to decorating with wall decor is that your wall decor is going to be a focal point of the room, and it really sets the tone for the color scheme, the theme, and also the style. And we have many, many different pieces to choose from when it comes to wall decor. We have wall art, we have wall signs, we have mirrors, we have clocks, we have sconces, wall pockets. So there are a lot of different types of products that you can use, and we're going to show you a variety and our next look here.
Okay, so our next look is really taking a color story that we love. We love the teals and the blues, and the whites. So this really incorporates some common themed type of prints. They're not exactly the same, which is great, because then you can grab pieces that you love, as Carrie said earlier, and put in a grouping. Now this would be an asymmetrical grouping, because it just has, everything is centered within each other, but it's not alike from one side to the other. And this is also a great example of pulling the accessories up into the grouping. You don't have to hang everything. This shows a great example of setting a sign or leaning a print on a wall, whether it's on a mantle or a table such as this. And you can see this is a print, a sign that I do have sitting on the surface.
Okay, great. It's beautiful. I hope you guys are inspired. So our next tip, it really has to do with large walls. A lot of you have large spaces and large walls to decorate. Sometimes that can be overwhelming. We have solutions for you, and we have some tips for working with large walls. And as you can see, the groupings that we've shown you so far is one of the solutions for large walls, is to create a grouping. And so we're going to show you another really fabulous grouping that you're going to love.
I'm going to come over here. This one is over a table, but it would be beautiful over a sofa also. And you can see my grouping is asymmetrical, but it also is more vertical than horizontal. And you can do the same, you can use these same pieces, and you can make a horizontal grouping if you needed something to fit over a sofa, where I have over a table, so I want to go higher on the wall. And again, I'm mixing different things in with the prints. I have wall signs, I have a wall shelf, which is great. You could use multiples of these to create one on one side, one on the other, and then showcase some of your smaller accessories. And then, again, using accessories on a table, it's nice to take the accessories and really make sure that they're part of the wall grouping. So you don't want to hang your pieces too high on the wall. I love how putting florals between prints. This way you eliminate some of that dead space that you would have between prints, and then it does become part of the wall grouping, which is really nice.
Yeah, and as you can see in many of these groupings, we're using different wall art, different elements, but you can also use multiples of the same print. So if you loved this and you have a large wall and you like things a little bit more symmetrical, you could use multiples of the same print.
Right.
And that would give you a really nice symmetrical look,
Yeah.
taking up a lot of space.
This is a great example of that because you could put them side by side and it would just be almost a continuation of a forest. So, so that would be a great one, Carrie, to use.
Yeah, and one of our tips for hanging art, if you're doing it in a grouping, hanging wall decor in a grouping, is to lay it out on the floor first to decide where you want to put things, especially when you're using multiple pieces. This is really a great way to figure out where you're going to put things. And when in doubt, when you're using a grouping, put them closer together. You can see with all of this, our pieces are fairly close together. It keeps it cohesive and it keeps your eye in the focal point. It keeps it together.
That's right, Carrie, because that's exactly what I did when I did this grouping. I started it out on the floor. That way you can also arrange it if you don't like it in one way without creating a lot of holes on your wall or marks on your wall just from holding it up. So definitely, if you have a larger grouping, make sure that you create it on the floor. Then you can move things around easily.
All right, we've got 2 more groupings that Dawn's going to show you.
That's right. I love this one in the corner. This honestly would be better for a longer table. I have what I have, but what a beautiful grouping combining the mirror as well as a large print and then some of the accent pieces that really work so well with all of the glitter and the gold. And then the one that I have here in the corner. Now, this is very abstract. It looks asymmetrical, but really it's quite symmetrical because it's kind of lined up in rows and using the same size print on one side of the clock as the other, and just working different elements together makes it very modern and abstract. I love this clock. I love working that in with other art pieces.
Yeah, it looks fabulous. All right, so we want to share a few more tips on how to hang art and just kind of some rules of thumb for hanging wall decor, whether it's art or a mirror or whatever. So Dawn's going to hop over here.
Okay.
And we have a little thumbtack trick that we're going to share with you.
Right. So a thumbtack trick is a great way to make sure that you only use one hole in your wall instead of multiples
figure out where
to hang it. So what you would do is you would take a piece of heavy tape and a flat thumbtack, and you'd put the thumbtack, you'd slide it underneath the sawtooth hanger, then you'd tape it up there, and what you would do is you would place it, don't push it into your wall yet, but place it at your wall, and then level it off with a level to make sure, especially if you have 2 hangers, some prints have 2 hangers, make sure that you would level it first. You probably might have someone help in doing this, and then you press it, once you have it level, you press it into the wall, and then pull it away, and you have your hole, and that way you'll know where to put your print.
And we're using a print with only 1 hanger, but that is really, really helpful when you have 2 hangers, because if you've ever hung any wall decor with 2 hangers, you know you have to get it in the exact right spot or else it doesn't work.
Right.
And then you could also do the same thing with toothpaste. That's another little trick. You just put toothpaste on the back of the hangers, figure out where you want to put it, press it down, then you have 2 little toothpaste marks on the wall where you need to put the nail.
Easy to wipe away. If you don't want to use nails or screws, you can get command hooks, and we use these at the office all the time. The Velcro ones, there's bigger ones for heavier pieces. There are wall hangers, and I would recommend this one this will hold up to 5 pounds. So these are really great pieces also when you're putting wall things together.
Okay, now let's also talk about how to hang your wall decor. You know, you can hang it anywhere above a sofa, above a bed, above any type of furniture. It could be in a corner, in a narrow place at the end of a hall. Signs work great above the door. But one of the things that we see quite often is that the wall decor gets hung too high. So we're going to give you some tips on where to put it and in relation to other things in the room. So we're going to start with wall decor that's not above any furniture.
Right.
And so we have this piece here.
Right. So you may have a hallway, or you might have a wall that you don't, it's a kind of a walkway. You don't have any furniture there. And the rule of thumb is to hang it at eye level, meaning that your eye level, and I'm going to take an average person, say 5'5", I'm only 5'2", but where their eye level comes to the middle of the artwork. And so that way it's not too high, it's not too low, it's not just floating up there. If you have a husband that's 6'4", don't use his eye level because it will be way too high. But this really is a perfect height for a print.
So when in doubt, make it a little bit lower.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about wall decor that's above a piece of furniture.
Right. So above a piece of furniture, and this is a great example, you want, like I said before, you want to incorporate the pieces on the table with what's on your wall. And so you want to hang it anywhere from 3 to 4 to 6 to 7 inches above the table. And as you can see, there's probably about 4 inches on this side, probably about 6 inches here. And really that works perfect because it does incorporate this as one whole grouping instead of wall art here and then table grouping here.
And then we already mentioned if you're working above a sofa, you want it to be a little bit higher so your head doesn't hit.
Right.
So about 12 inches above a sofa. Okay, and our last tip is when you're deciding where to put your grouping or where to hang your wall decor, you want to center it above the furniture if there is furniture that you're working with. Not in the center of the wall. Now, if there's no furniture, you want to center it in the center of the wall. But when there is furniture, you want to center it over the furniture. That's a common mistake that we see as well. So this is another great example. All right. So we hope that you are inspired. We hope that you are ready to refresh your walls and update your space to create spaces that you love to live in. And be sure, again, to drop us a comment. Let us know what you saw that you loved. And I promised you an exciting announcement at the end, and that is that we have just refreshed our outlet store. These are our end-of-the-life items, small quantities, so be sure to check it out. It is really great prices there in our outlet. So to find the outlet, you can just go online, click on sale and clearance, and then you will find the outlet there. So be sure to check that out as you're shopping for your walls as well. All right, and our winners from last week, thank you so much for watching, following, and commenting. Sharon Hawkins and Tina Hobbs. And we will message you with more details about your 20% off. And finally, how could I fail to mention that all regular priced wall decor is 25% off right now through Sunday only. So if you've got some wall space to decorate, make sure that you take advantage of that 25% off that you are going to get on all of our regular priced wall decor. So happy decorating, everyone, and happy shopping.